Good morning. I'm Bill Cook from the Greenlee County Cooperative Extension in Duncan, and we're doing a little bit of gardening here. So we're going to plant some sweet potatoes here. I like to grow them in a container. The idea being is that they grow well in a container, and come fall when it's harvest time, I can dump it out on a tarp, sort out the sweet potatoes, put the soil back, and use the container again. Now these mineral tubs for livestock make a really good planter. They hold about 2.5, 2.25, 2.5 cubic feet of good potting soil. They're deep enough for about anything. But you do have to drill some holes in the bottom. It's good to make sure your holes are drilled up the side just a little bit, because when this sets on the ground, the soaking and everything from the run through, it can sit in the mud and plug those holes up. Things get waterlogged and then you got a problem. So when you plant sweet potatoes, you put them about 1 foot or 1.5 feet apart in your garden beds. Here in the pot, with the size of this pot, I usually put about 2. So you just dig a hole. This is some nice loamy soil that I have manufactured here at home that I'm putting it into. It's very coarse, it drains well, and you can see all the roots on that little start. And I think we started this about 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to plant that in there. I'm going to fill in all around it. And they're about 1 foot apart. Again, if we were going out in a row in the garden, they'd be 1 foot to 1.5 feet apart. And as with any container garden, the soil was wet before I put them in there. And now I'm going to settle it around the plant with water. Now you don't want to feed your sweet potatoes a whole heck of a lot. I give them just a little splash of fish emulsion about once every 3 or 4 weeks during the summer. I'm going to leave this in the greenhouse, and I'm going to let it grow, and it'll grow all over. About next fall, when it starts cooling off, you'll see the foliage will begin to yellow. And what that tells you is that the sweet potatoes are forming under there. Some people like to cut the tops back, particularly in the garden. I've been told that helps the sweet potatoes to develop a little bit. More than anything, it makes it possible to dig them. So on this, when they start to yellow, I'm going to lay out a tarp, I'm going to dump the whole thing over, sort out the sweet potatoes, put the soil back, and if the pot does not freeze over the course of the winter, if I were in a place like Maricopa County where it's much warmer, there'd be enough remnants of sweet potato root that it would grow again and I would not have to plant it. So that is growing sweet potatoes and in a container. Thank you.